Rafi's rambles, Rafi's rambles, Rafi's rambles.
Hola, you amazing rogues, and welcome to another Not Studio. We are currently staying in a home that was built in 1806, basically built 30 years after the Revolutionary War. It's beautiful out here. It's absolutely beautiful out here. The only problem is that it's very loud. When things get quiet, it gets very loud. So if you hear noises in the background, that's just life. The world is noisy. But that's not why I'm filming this video. I'm actually filming this video because as I edit the thousands upon thousands of hours of footage of our adventure thus far and our house buying process and all that stuff, which will be a lot of fun, but it is requiring quite a bit of work. I was thinking about something and I was just looking around and thinking, wow, we're making some huge changes. We're basically upturning our entire life. And instead of just following what's safe, what's secure, because even though we have a very unpredictable lifestyle when it comes to being an artist and there's no security in it, like you can't, there isn't any kind of guarantee that this every week you're going to make this much money with your art. Like you have to kind of plan for that as you go. There's a chipmunk. Chipmunks are so cute. I just totally did one of Klee's like squirrel. Crap, where was I? Being an artist is inspirational to me. On this trip, we've met some very creative people that support the arts in whatever way they can, people that are artists themselves. In looking at them and looking at what they've created for themselves and looking at what we have created for ourselves, I realized that everything starts with just that single step and understanding that it's going to take time. Like it's going to take time. We started with nothing 10 years ago. Like we literally had nothing. There was no income, no money, no career, no reputation. I love how people will say like, well, it's easy for you to say because you have 28,000 followers. So it's easy for you to say because you have people following you on social media. And like, nobody starts there. It's easy to look at somebody else and say like, oh, look at where they are. That's why it's working for them. But like, you have to realize that it takes years sometimes to get there. Our YouTube channel, for all intents and purposes, is tiny compared to a lot of YouTube channels. We don't jump on any niches. We don't necessarily have a shtick. It's just us filming our experiences and our opinions and talking about stuff.
Yeah, a lot of this trip has been terrifying. Like there's tons of stuff that we're doing that we've never done before and things that we're facing that we've never faced before. And I've been super terrified more times than I can count on this trip, to the extent that like all I could do in those moments was just breathe through it. Like just calm myself down and know like, okay, this is just part of it. But I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade any of it because this is living. I feel alive.
One of the beautiful people that we got to stay with on this journey, we got to stay in their log cabin. And the log cabin in the mountains was a dream of theirs for quite some time. And little by little, they knew that I was going to take time to get there. And I got to stay in a room that had one of my original works of art from when I first started and was totally insecure about putting myself out there. And this beautiful, gorgeous, serene place with this amazing landscape around it. And having a conversation with them and talking about how that journey, how they basically just took the leap and went step by step by step by step to get there, understanding fully that it was going to take time to get there, and how everything just kind of fell together for them, fell in its place. And I could totally relate to that. With Klee and I, we started with nothing, and we just kept putting ourselves out there and kept consistently moving forward and taking step after step after step. There was no roadmap. There was no get rich quick thing. There was no like, oh, this is what you should do with marketing and all that stuff. There was just us bumbling our way through it, not willing to give up, not willing to stop. And here we are almost a decade later, and we're in a completely new place. We've never been to this state even. And we've taken ourselves out of our comfort zone and basically made it a point to say, all right, this is what comes next. And I could only see as far as the first step. I don't know what's going to happen after that. So many people want to lay out and say like, okay, well, first this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and then I'm going to end up here, and this is how it is. And that's fine. You want to think long term, but really at the end of the day, you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. You got to be prepared for everything. You have to be prepared for everything because you just don't know. The only thing I know for sure is that like, I don't know what's going to happen. All of this is outside of my comfort zone. Like none of this is in my comfort zone. Staying at places that I've never stayed at before, having conversations, engaging in conversations with artists and like art-centric people that I've never spoken before. I'm such an introvert. This is completely outside of my comfort zone, but I know that if I just give into that and don't ever leave the studio and don't go out and get inspired by the stuff of life, like nothing's going to happen. I'm just going to be I'm not going to experience life. And you guys know, Klee and I don't do a shtick. We don't have a thing. People will comment about our production value. They'll talk about how, oh, you need to improve this, you need to look here at the camera, you need to make your videos like this and this and this, and that way you'll get more of a following and all that stuff. And I'm like, that's not why we record these videos. That's not why we sit down and talk to you guys the way that we do and spend hours editing footage. We don't do it for that reason. We do it because like this stuff of life, me sitting here terrified and waiting, what's going to happen? Are we going to have a house? Are we not going to have a home? Are we going to be okay on the road? How are we going to be financially if this doesn't pan out and we get back? Like everything is up in the air. Everything is up in the air. And that's effing terrifying. But if you're not taking risks, if you're not willing to go for the things that you want to do and at least make time for it, I'm not saying that you have to jump in, but at least if you want to buy that log cabin, then are you saving money every week? Or are you just, well, maybe it'll happen? Are you taking the steps knowing that this is going to take years to get there? Or do you want just quick results? Because quick results don't happen. And as somebody who's been sitting here waiting for a response for 3 days and being completely impatient, because I know that I am an impatient human, it doesn't happen right away. But nothing will happen if you don't start now. You don't take the steps. I'm not even sure I'm going to post this video. I mean, there aren't any jokes. It's not funny. It's kind of serious. It's a little bit heavy. But I think that's how I'm feeling right now. And, the rest of the trip, the trip has been amazing and it's been fun and we've been adventuring and there's this love of life. But right now, in this moment where I'm sitting here on this dreary day, listening to the trucks pass by, I think to myself, like, you got to go for it in whatever way you can. It doesn't mean that you like drop everything and just go for it, but at least start taking the little steps to get there, knowing that your destination is here. Okay, I don't know what the next step is, but that's my destination, and I'm going to do whatever it takes right now to be able to do it. Whatever little steps I have to take, this baby step, this baby step, this baby step, this baby step, because at least if I'm engaged in that, then I'm doing something. I'm not sitting there wishing that I was doing something. I'm doing something. And yeah, maybe it won't pan out immediately financially, and maybe it won't pan out in the timeline that you want it to, but it will pan out. It will always pan out if you just keep walking towards what it is that you want, you will eventually get there. There is no GPS, there is no roadmap, there is nothing telling you what obstacles you're going to run into. You just have to go and feel your way through it, because that's the way to do it. And that's where I am emotionally and mentally. I want people to go for their dreams. I want them to experience life. I want them to experience this, and it's terrifying. I want them to experience the terror of doing things that you've never done before. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not sure that I'm going to post this either way. And if I do, then there's no outro here. There's just me saying, I adore you guys. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for following us on our journey. All of you that have subscribed to the Adventure channel, thank you. I appreciate that. The adventure continues. And let's see what happens. Wish us luck. All right. Thank you guys. Adios.